Hey.
Welcome. So we switch things around. We're going to do things a little bit differently. But welcome back to season 2 of the Just Like a Show, and we're on
Nina,
our
it's season 3, Nina. It's
huh?
season 3. It's not season 2.
Oh,
Okay, it's
is
season
it?
3.
Okay, we're gonna argue later whether it's season 2 or season 3. But since I put up all the links, I actually listed it as season 2. Okay, anyway, so we're on season 2/3, and we're on our 53rd episode. So welcome everybody. Welcome. Now let us know who's in the house and what you guys want to get from tonight's episode. Okay. Now tonight we're gonna be talking about moolah. How excited are you? Hey CA, welcome. Okay, and that's right. How do you monetize on LinkedIn? That's gonna be the topic on tonight. Can you monetize on LinkedIn? It's all happening right here, right now on the Just Langa Show with me, Nina Shahrukh Khan,
And I mean, from Popcorn.
Yes, there you go. Now, Just Langa, welcome. Hey, James Fong, welcome. Soraya, Krishna, welcome. Now, Just Langa is where we interview the movers and shakers of the world to help you grow your authority, impact, and income. Is that me as a thought leader, business influencer, and the authority in your respective industries? All right. So in other words, we're Popcorn and we build Southeast Asia's business influencers and thought leaders. So if this is something that excites you, then you want to check out some of the stuff that we have coming up. And next week on the 24th of June on Just Langa, instead of 8 o'clock, we're going to be at 4 p.m. We're going to be with Chris Mohawk. Do we have the slides, I mean?
Yes, of course, coming up.
Okay, he's going to be talking about how to use LinkedIn for and as a leader. And he prides himself in saying that he's the only CEO with a mohawk. So I'm sure CA here wants to see that, right? Kind of thing. So welcome, everybody. Welcome. So let us know, what do you guys want to get out from tonight's questions? If you have any questions and stuff like that. Mira, welcome. Lovely to see you here. All right. So who's in the house? How are you guys doing? Melanie, welcome.
I'm trying to check out everyone on LinkedIn right now. Hey guys, how you guys doing? It's good to see. It's good to be back. It's been a while, isn't it?
Yes, Melia.
Yeah, we've been away for about a month plus.
Yes, we've been away. We're taking a break, and we're like, we have to start again. So we're like, but we had a good break. Welcome, everybody. Yes, Chris Mohawk. What is it that you guys want to learn from our expert speaker tonight? Let us know in the comment section. Keep it coming so that we know. All right, kind of thing. The other question we have for you is, did you miss us? That was almost 6 weeks of us not around on Thursday. So let us know. We actually had some people messaging us, why is there nothing on Thursday night? I can't handle this. Right.
People were asking if we decided to cancel the show. Not yet, guys. Not until we meet 100. We will not stop. Okay,
we were just taking a break. Okay, so again, tonight, can you make money on LinkedIn? How do people make money on LinkedIn? How can I monetize my efforts on LinkedIn? In fact, when we first started out, not just on LinkedIn, but in this whole social media journey, we had all these questions and more, right? I mean, what were some of the questions you had?
Some of the question I have is it really true that LinkedIn is a place for you to make money? Because I always thought it was a resume site. That was like a long time ago, right? I had the LinkedIn account since like 2008. I opened the account and then I never look at it. And then in 2019, I decided to just go back again. Right? So, cool stuff.
I mean, please, I think you need to confess that at first you thought that LinkedIn was constipated, that it was for boring old files.
I always thought it was a constipated. It's one of the most constipated platform ever.
What is this, scammer? What? Scammer makes money? Really? I thought that was Facebook. Paulina says she missed us, kind of thing. Okay. So, we learned, you know what? You can actually make money. We learned it the hard way, and we don't want you guys to go through that. So what we did was, we invited an expert, an ex-LinkedIner. I don't know if that's the right way, but we invited an expert to answer all these questions. So if you think this is useful, it is going to make a difference to somebody out there. It's going to make a difference to all your friends. Then share this post out on your social media, tag your friends who can benefit from this. Let's get the world in on this so we can all learn together. Okay, so get your pens, get your notebook as well for you. So because we're going to be attracting a lot of moolah by the end of the night. So are you guys excited? Because I definitely, when we talk about money, I love it. Yeah. And then CA, you're going to be selling more satay sticks after this. Okay. All right. Okay.
Exactly.
So Tonight's guest is a LinkedIn expert and coach. She is the founder of In Academy 2018. She is also the LinkedIn 2018 Power Profile and chairperson for several international women tech groups. Now, during her tenure at LinkedIn, she's trained over 8,000 executives from around the world and consulted for Fortune 500 brands in multiple markets. We're talking the UK, Switzerland, Luxembourg, Hong Kong, and Singapore about the power of digital marketing and personal branding. Her recent venture, the In Academy, a go-to platform empowering brands and individuals to maximize their results on LinkedIn. So ladies and gentlemen, top cooners, please welcome all the way from Belgium, is it? Salina Yeung. Welcome.
Welcome. Okay, I got to do this, Salina. Hold on for a while, right? I got to do this. Right.
Welcome. I think Salina's shop. There's a standing ovation.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah. Welcome. You know what, Salina? I have to say you're the first hot speaker we have. Well, not first, but kind of one of the few ones, you know. So Amin was like, Nina, why do you keep getting handsome guy speakers? I can't help it. There's so many girls here, but you know, once in a while we want hot women. So thank you for saying yes.
And thank you so much for having me, guys. I mean, what a great entry, right? Like having the beauty, having like all these amazing introduction, and welcome everyone to join this channel. And really great having you guys. And I like the moolah introduction as well. We'll all talk about moolah today.
Money, woohoo!
Yeah.
Right. So Salina, can you share with us, like, what is it that you were doing in LinkedIn in your own words, and how you work with all these individuals and Fortune 500 companies? What were you doing during that?
Yeah, I love this. I love this question a lot. So I used to work for LinkedIn, like Nina said, as their account director at the LinkedIn marketing solution team. So in general, there's 4 business solution at LinkedIn. So LinkedIn marketing solution. We talk about LinkedIn recruiting solution, which I know majority of the people confuse LinkedIn as just an online CV, right? And there's also LinkedIn learning and LinkedIn sales solution. So I'm under the advertising solution org. And I'm their brand ambassador. I consult businesses globally on how they can best leverage LinkedIn to connect with their target audience and also tell their brand story in a very impactful and creative ways so that they can monetize the LinkedIn users as well as the target audience there. So my team and I are responsible to market and sell LinkedIn business solution across various verticals, which is the 4 major heroes verticals are finance services, tech, healthcare, and higher education. So if all of you are in that space, you're in for a treat.
Ooh, okay. Okay. Amin, do you have any questions to add to that?
How does it feel like to work with LinkedIn?
It's really fun. No, it's really fun. I would say it's a great experience if anybody are watching this show, or Nina, Ahmed, in any days you're looking into, you know, branching yourself out. LinkedIn is a great place. I love the culture there, the people. I learned a lot.
You were based in the LA office or in the
Hong Kong,
in the
or is it
Hong Kong office?
Oh, in the Hong Kong office. Okay, got it.
Yeah, but report
cool.
to the San Francisco office. Yeah,
I've actually been to the San Francisco office, the one in
222 Second Street.
Yes, that one. Yeah, so I always have breakfast there.
Nice. I mean, breakfast, lunch, and dinner for free.
Everything. Yeah.
I actually kind of miss the Singapore office too.
Singapore office as well.
Yeah.
Singapore office is beautiful. Yeah, with marina.
Exactly, the view, right? Exactly. It's amazing. Okay, so what sort of now that you're on your, could you share with us your journey, how you started? Because I didn't know that until we spoke earlier, right? How did you start it having your own thing? You're running you're your own boss. You know, how did that start? And what do you do? You know, for your clients.
Great question, Nina. So for that, so I was having huge fun working for LinkedIn, like both of you asked me earlier. However, COVID hit, right? And me and my husband is actually in long distance relationship, so it's really easy for us to fly in and see each other before COVID. But in the middle of COVID, I just basically think about, my family a lot, and thinking like, I mean, I have worked for them for quite some times now. I have a lot of fun. I learn a lot. And I decided to basically quit and reunite with my family. And slowly after, I was a little bit lost, like, to be really honest with you. I was like, oh, what should I do for my life? I'm doing some traveling.
The soul-searching part.
Yeah, exactly. But COVID, I can't travel, basically. So it was tough. And I started blogging, which is not even one of my strengths. I blog for things about LinkedIn, about like tips and hacks, because I used to get asked a lot from families, friends, and also clients, like, how do you use LinkedIn? Like, I only are on LinkedIn because I want to find jobs, right? Majority of us, like, let's be honest.
Yep.
I use it for CV. I used it majority of the time just to find work for new jobs. So I was thinking to sort of like shaking that misconception a bit and write like different blogs, like explaining a little bit what a complete LinkedIn profile will help you, what an all-star LinkedIn profile means, what social media marketing means to us to build a strong personal brand, as well as why is it so important now than ever to build your personal brand on LinkedIn, as well as what social selling index score, which is some of the things that we'll talk about today about the moolah point of view. And then that's
okay.
And I don't think I write a really good blog, but somehow people just reach out to me, and my ex-clients reach out to me. I shared with both of you earlier about this story, and I was like, okay, what should I do? And they're like, oh, I thought you're with LinkedIn for the longest time with a brand ambassador. So what do you do now? I was like, I'm just like blogging about LinkedIn, how to best practice, things like that. And people start reaching out for me for consultation. So that's how the In Academy all started. Yeah.
I see. Okay, cool. So now, what do you think is the biggest misconception that people have about LinkedIn, especially when it comes to monetization?
Yeah, so I would say they use it for CV a lot. Like they just update it, like when they need to find a job or they got fired in the middle of COVID, which is a biggest misconception that I felt like. Second is there's a lot of lurker on LinkedIn. I mean, looking at tons of people over there. They're not necessarily posting content, but just hanging out, which is great as well, because we need these type of people. But you know what is really shocking? Data. I love a data, and whoever that we speak before. I see a friend of mine, James, is here. Only 1% of LinkedIn members are sharing content on a weekly basis. I'm talking about
1%. There's 760 million LinkedIn users, right? And only 1% is sharing content or creating content?
Creating content, posting content consistently on a weekly basis. So that's like mind-blowing. Think about when you're hanging out or lurking around on, let's say, Instagram or like the cool, new, sexy TikTok or...
Wait, Salina, is there?
Okay, we gotta wait.
We gotta wait.
Need to go for commercial break. I mean,
commercial break.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, you were saying.
Right, cool.
So we were about to go for commercial break, but today is no commercial break. Don't worry.
We kind of lost you there for once, Salina. Yeah.
Yeah. So 1%. Yeah.
Yeah, 1% of LinkedIn users are sharing content consistently on a weekly basis, right? So that's like, to me, is really shocking. I mean, based on data. So what does it mean for us, right? As a user, as a members, that's a strategic opportunity for us to show our marketing message, our content to reach business decision maker. Like Nina said, the data point, there's 760 million members there on LinkedIn, and they are all business decision makers. And on top of that portion, these are people that are really having very different mindset when they come to this platform, right? Because they know they represent the company or they represent themselves as a brand. You won't be basically sharing things that it's too casual or sharing. You rarely see a lot of like photos about you with a dog or you with more like a casual setting. So I think that's the opportunity. for us. Yeah.
It's oh dear, because what have we been teaching people? Oh, oops. Anyway, so which goes into our next question. Is it true that
but before you go that,
okay,
hold on for a while, right? Now, for all our students who decided to create content daily, I just have to say this to you guys. Welcome to the 1% Club.
Yes, cheers to that. I got my coffee here too.
Cheers, guys.
Okay. Speaking about that 1% club, I want to know about. There's a lot. Is it true that there's a lot of C-suites who shy away from social media? Is this true for Western C-levels, or is it just Asian? And why do you think it is so?
Nina, I like this question a lot. I can't represent the data point because obviously I need to take a look more in depth. However, I do see, like, maybe since I'm based in US before as well as Europe, I do see C-suite or sort of leaders of the company tend to be a little bit more vocal about, you know, how they think about the trends of their own industry. They share a lot of long form article. Obviously, they might have their PR team or marketing team helping them, right? But I do feel like Asia audience or C-suite level, they tend not to really share a lot over there. They will share maybe on a company page, but the strongest, more powerful ways is actually their own LinkedIn profile. Because you will get access a lot. There's much more people following an individual than a company page, right? People buy from people. We heard that a lot. And it's very true. And also the trust factor are also play a huge factor into people deciding to work with a company.
Okay. So I think we kind of think that Asians tend to be more private, or there's also this fear that they'll say all the wrong things. I think. I don't know about you. I mean, what do you think? What do you guys
I
think?
heard this conversation. I heard this conversation that some of the C-levels are having, especially in Malaysian government agencies, because one of the fear that they have is that if they say something that is wrong, and then
you can't take it back.
You will get affected, right? So they can't take it back. So those are some of the conversations that people have. So they were so scared about it to a point that they don't want to share anything. So they just keep quiet and they just observe. So those are the 90% lurkers, right?
Lurkers. So it's safer to be a lurker. And also, you know, you're so used to having a whole team doing things for you, and now you have to do it yourself. So you're like, what do I say? You know, when you're dependent on someone, kind of thing. Because I used to have scripts written for me, and then I'll just speak, you know, as a host, a TV show host. And then now I'm on social media, you may have to come up with my own script. Okay, kind of thing. Yeah. So I think that's one of the thing that holds people back. Okay, so then let's get straight into it then. How do people monetize on LinkedIn? Can you monetize on LinkedIn? How does one do it?
Yeah, sure. One, I mean, you guys already know I love data point. I talk about the 1%, which is already a huge opportunity. There's another thing that LinkedIn audience are so different from Facebook. I mean, any social media, you can name it. It's the household income, which is more than 75K US dollars for LinkedIn members, 49% of it, which is very huge. Think about majority of C-suite that we talked about earlier, right? They're all on LinkedIn, and obviously their income or majority of it are deciding to have a profile on LinkedIn, maybe not having a profile on Facebook or anywhere else because of the privacy policy that is less strict than LinkedIn, right? So that's again a great opportunity there. And the sessions has been increased 25% years on years on LinkedIn, which means people are really contributing to the conversation as well as posting more content. But again, the 1% that we're back on that. So I will break it down to 3 things you can monetize on LinkedIn. I talk about content a lot. I will talk about it a little bit more. But the very first thing, it's going back to basic. I don't want to be cheesy, but so important to figure out whether your LinkedIn profile is an all-star profile. So what means by all-star LinkedIn profile is a complete LinkedIn profile, right? And you can be able to see it through your private dashboard. And if there's like an all-star, which means you're pretty okay, but that's just the foundation. So if you are not an all-star LinkedIn profile, don't worry. I have a very simple freebies, a free guide from the In Academy with my team, basically step by step showing you 10 step what you need to do to make sure you have that all-star LinkedIn profile. If you don't know, I think Nina already put in my LinkedIn URL. DM me later. I will give you the URL later, or I will just find this feed and share further. So that's the very
Guys, I just shared Salina's. Yeah, I just shared Salina's.
So make sure you add her on LinkedIn, be friends with her, follow her. And drop her a DM if you need the links and stuff like that. Okay, so first things first, you need a profile. What did we tell you? Okay, lecture done.
Thank you. And so that's basically basic, right? A little bit more advanced to that is the social selling score. Basically, LinkedIn is already giving everyone a scorecard, right? Like think about when we're kids or high school or I don't know, even university, you got like GPA or stuff. Similarly, LinkedIn gives you a basic score about your social selling score. What does it tell you? It tells you about whether you have established a strong personal brand on LinkedIn. And they will use 4 different pillars to decide on how well you're doing on LinkedIn. So you can feel free to check social selling index LinkedIn. Just Google that and you'll be able to find the SSI score. But
I have a question.
Tell me.
Okay, never mind. Go ahead, Salina. I have a question for you after this.
Please.
Yes. I have always been curious in terms of how, in God's name, do LinkedIn evaluate the social selling score? Okay,
you sound like you have a chip on the block. Come on, let it out. I mean, what's
I
your
know,
issue with the SSI?
I thought I've done all that needs to be done, but then after that, how come my score is still at about 80, not like 90?
No, like 98.
So how do I bring it up? Is there like a tip for this?
Sure.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no secret there, but I do have a couple of pointers that I can share. Mine is around 84, and it's varies sometimes. So 83, 84, I think it's pretty good score for a LinkedIn perspective. But I want to share a data point. If you are lower than 65, your LinkedIn profile is not fully optimized. You're not basically using to the maximum ability or capability of that end. So make sure you have somewhere above 65 score, and that will hurt your reach of the post as well if it's lower than 65. So FYI.
Right.
So there's obviously 4 pillars, right?
Yeah.
Great question from you, really. There's one called building the professional brand, which is what I talked about earlier, the all-star LinkedIn profile. You should be able to get somewhere more than 20 or 22 if you have like all-star LinkedIn profile, you have update everything possible in each individual section. So that's 8. And you have find the right people. Find the right people is a very tricky one because I do know LinkedIn do want to push their paid product. So if you are a LinkedIn premium user, you will have a generally higher score than someone that is regular. However, there's also one thing on top of it, which is Sales Navigator. That helps you to target for sales individual to target people even better. So they have a stronger capability in terms of search. So obviously you, me, Nina have like a search bar on LinkedIn. That's already great opportunity to find people, right? However, Sales Navigator, it's even more nitty gritty. You can even filter by, previous company. You can filter by a current company. You can filter by job title, etc., right? Going to nitty gritty. So that finding the right people is how that bar is going to increase. So as a user, how can you increase that score, right? You can really leverage it by adding people that with that industry and using that search bar. Like, trust me, try that for a week, use that search bar, your score will be immediately increased. So check that out. So that's find your right people. Remind me of the third bar, because now I don't really remember.
Professional brand, right people, insights, and relationship.
Yes, engaging with insights. So engaging with insights, tag to what I talk about, the content, right? If you haven't been posting content, LinkedIn will think that you're not contributing to the conversation. You're not engaging with insight. You're not providing value, right? So directly goes echo back to your engagement rate of your content, as well as when people are engaging with your content. Is there people comment on it as well as you reply? So that's for it's how that increase. And usually if you post like I do, which I know it's a little bit crazy, but if any of you are listening, you want to start small, do that, because there's so much opportunity, like I said, right? For Instagram, you might need to dance for the IG reel. For TikTok, you also need to dance. On Facebook, you need to show a cool picture. You need to look nice. On LinkedIn, you can just blast a text post, as simple as that. Or the poll post, if you're familiar with it, which is a format super easy, went viral. All you need is one question for answer. And on top of it, I mean, Nina asked this great questions, and today is all about monetizing it. You can go into the mind of your audience about how they think about your latest product. How did they think about your brand? There's so many things you can ask your audience, right? You just need to flip your mindset a little bit to business. So
I love the poll, because on days where you're like your brain kind of shrunk, it's like so easy to just and as a person who's like watching all these feeds, it's like, oh, I can answer that. I can answer that. So it's easy, to contribute, kind of thing.
Absolutely. So the other time I launched one that it's about custom hashtag. So I ask people like, oh, do you have your own custom hashtag? And then I give a couple of data points, because I know like, oh, how custom hashtag is going to help you in terms of building your own brand. And then I ask them to drop their own hashtag in the comments, right? So commenting is king and queen on LinkedIn. So LinkedIn favor commenting than any other platform. If like obviously for Instagram, Facebook, they have a very different metrics, right? I like that, Lena, before this session, we talk about algorithm, which is one of the things that really LinkedIn favors comment, because they all talk about conversation. They want you to join the conversation. They want you to join part of something, a community building, right? These are all the buzzwords. And so that's why that post of mine went viral. I got almost 100K. And imagine, how can you get 100K in other platform, right?
Yes, it's just you can't. It's just crazy. Yeah. My post on a Sunday had like 26K, and I was like, what?
I know. Yeah. And that you need to get it elsewhere on Facebook or even Twitter. You need to pay for in order to get that views. But LinkedIn, it's so different. The organic growth is crazy. That's why I talk about the gold mine. I mean, not just me. Think about Gary Vee. Everybody else is talking about Simon Sinek. Everyone talk about the gold mine. So it's not. It's not a joke. It's real. So do get on that. But to immense part. Sorry, I'm just like rambling around a little bit. And then the last is building relationship, which is the easiest one to get to 25. Why? Because there's three things that they take into account. One is your emails. Obviously, whoever that DMs you, make sure you reply. You also reach out to people as well. Also building the connection. Would you send people connection invite? If you do you personalize it? Actually, all these LinkedIn did give you a score behind it. So making sure you have been building the relationship within your company.
So it's the algorithm really favors relationship, doesn't it?
Absolutely. And conversation.
And conversations. Okay. I also find that certain content tends to have a lot of views, like polls do very well. I also find that the slides do very well. Is there a certain reason why certain contents kind of do better than others? Just wondering, or am I imagining it? Video is not that great. It used to be great, but not anymore. So could you please enlighten us? Because we're like, what? All the time.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, I think I'm saying something. Amen.
So yes, what's going on inside LinkedIn? Why is our video is so low? Is there any explanation for this?
Because video is harder to do. We should be, we should be rewarded for that. Just saying.
Yeah. So I can't share why video they discourage it, but all I can share is one of the LinkedIn algorithm. Maybe you go back to my LinkedIn profile. I've been sharing it constantly. Is one of the things that I can share is dwell time. So dwell time happens to every platform. anyway. But real time, how that LinkedIn works, they use a 3 indicator, right? When you're strolling on the newsfeed, they want to make sure people are basically like LinkedIn really value their user time, as well as they value high quality work. So when you're strolling, when you're enjoying the content on LinkedIn, when you stop, right? And that will be basically where you will be rewarded, that your post will have a bigger reach. So think about it, right? To Nina's point, or I mean your point earlier, documents, all these take what? Longer time to read, right? And for quotes, I would say somewhere, yeah, it's also takes time to read, but text posts is something that LinkedIn do want to reward people, especially for C. Like, how would you possible to have, majority of your time building that beautiful document or creating that video all the time, right? So text post is always being rewarded because it's simple. But poll is something that they have recently changed just 3 weeks ago, I believe 3 or 4 weeks ago. Just, they reward you by having people clicking into multiple places. For example, clicking into selecting different, casting the vote, including the engagement. This is how they reward them. So I would say, if you ask me, like now, right? Text post, poll is the similar rich, and then documents, and then video. And what else I'm missing? Article. Actually,
it's article right at the bottom, because that takes a long time. Just wondering.
There's news.
Again. Is she still
There's
there?
news,
okay,
sorry?
Cool.
Yeah, newsletter. Can you hear it?
Yeah. So is that high on the, algorithm list, or at the bottom?
Oh, we're losing her again.
Just hang on.
I'm so sorry. I don't know what is going on, because
it could be the
Italian weather. So good.
It's so good.
It's so good, this content. That
I hope so. I hope it's helpful. Sorry.
Newsletter.
Yeah, newsletter is the most latest features that they have on LinkedIn. And newsletter, it's great. Imagine newsletter for, popcorn, right? You have a dedicated emails newsletter, a subscriber that you have. Similarly for LinkedIn, they want you to create that community for you. And when you upload that article, you will be able to get pinged through email. That's incredible, because LinkedIn hate to spam people, but one and only place they allow is through LinkedIn article. So that's like a opportunity right there. And the second thing about it is they favor Google. So whenever you're searching for multiple search word, for example, I've been posting LinkedIn article consistently, so I will be winning a lot of LinkedIn search word. When people are Googling that, my article on LinkedIn will be top of the search. So
right, okay, definitely. Compare articles to newsletter. It's kind of the same thing, right? Except that you gotta be consistent with newsletter. Is it? Just wondering.
Yeah, so newsletter, unfortunately, is not being whitelisted to all the members. They only given to certain sort of influencer in the platform. So for example, Nina, man, you guys have the LinkedIn Live. Not a lot of people have LinkedIn Live, right? You need to apply for it in order to have LinkedIn Live. So
we have a story for you.
Yes.
I mean, it took forever to get. He said, "Okay, we
it
are
took
going
me
live
almost
on
a
our
year.
Hang on,
almost,
we are going live
more than a year.
Yeah, on our company page.
But
I got it almost immediately. But I usually get away with murder, so that's always my thing. But Amin took a year to get his LinkedIn Live on his personal profile. So he was like,
even for our company page, we actually have to beg. We use our connection in Singapore and say, can you please give us the live, like now? Then we got that in a week.
Yeah.
And then Nina got it. But they don't give it to me.
Because I always get away with murder, kind of thing. So Pauline is asking, why is it so hard to get approval for LinkedIn Broadcasting Live? I've applied for more than 3 weeks and still no reply, and she's crying. So sorry.
Oh, Pauline, I'm so sorry that you have a bad experience, but there's a couple reasons behind it. One is actually related to political. So when they are launching LinkedIn Lives, I think it's 3 or 4 years ago, and Australia, they're thinking to whitelist to every member. And back then, the CEO Jeff Weiner is still on seats, and it's sort of like a political situation, and people are going live with the situation, and that's something that LinkedIn don't like, the platform, because you're creating sort of like how would I say it? Like basically inviting people into all these like negative sentiment, so they don't really like that. That being taken out, you think about the strategies of opening to every of the members. So now they're making it tighten and tighten, because they want to make sure, like for instance, LinkedIn Live, when you still remember, Nina or Amen, when you applying for it, you need to agree with the user guidelines, right? You can't be streaming for several things. One of it is related to COVID-19 updates, because we're not authority, so please don't say anything about COVID-19, right? About vaccine, like all these, like basically they don't like fake news, like all these things that they're not encouraged. So that's part of the reason. I hope that answered Pauline, but there's also several things that you could do, obviously.
She's saying that LinkedIn don't like us.
That's so not true.
hurt.
Like popcorn, right? Like this can.
Yeah. Well, there's quite a few people who got rejected. And they're like, oh, there's also who was it? Andreas, who applied like I think for 1 whole year every day until the guy said, "Please stop applying." Something like that.
No.
Yeah, that was cool. And he's good friends with them now. I don't know, because he applied so often. So that was quite funny. Yeah. Okay, I mean, any questions? Oh,
but don't give up. Don't give up.
You will get it. Okay. Yeah. You will get. Okay, cool. Somebody else got it in 4 days.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly. Right. So that's why I'm so not happy with it, that we had like one of our student who came for our class and applied and got it the next day.
Yeah, so of course he was angry.
Is he active on LinkedIn?
Not really.
After they came to us, they became
mind blowing.
Yeah, so there's several things, right? There's obviously they see that you're very active on LinkedIn. You have been posting content consistently on LinkedIn. They will reward members about that. There's also another level of it, which they whitelist new product every 25% to the user. So APAC is already very favorable. So like, I'm looking at Pauline right now. Trust me. Continue applying for it. You will get there, girl. Trust me.
Okay. So Perfa, I think it's your turban which is scaring
Don't
people.
Give up, guys. Do not give up.
Take a photo which misses the turban. No, just kidding. Ignore me.
I spent every 3 weeks consistently for the last 1 year.
Yeah. So that was him. He applied every 3 weeks. I mean, so
yeah.
There you go.
Okay.
I mean.
Oh, I mean, I'm sorry. I was like, keep looking at the comments, and I was like, oh, I mean, you get it now, right? You got it now.
Yeah. I just got it like last month.
But I have a complaint now. I'm so sorry, Salina.
No, don't be.
So
I'm no longer with LinkedIn officially, but I still love the platform. But yeah.
Yeah, I'm like you. Somebody actually said that, well, you talk so much about LinkedIn, kind of thing, but you don't work for LinkedIn. I think LinkedIn should be paying you. That's what she said. But anyway, I think the other thing that I'm not happy about is I'm trying to go live on the company page and then on my page as well. But it says LinkedIn doesn't allow for more than one feed, one live. And I'm like, what do you mean? And I paid for that live license.
I know. It's difficult, yeah. But there's a work around it, is you can record the session and then restream it to the company.
Thank you. That's what I mean. Thank you. Thank you. We love you.
Yeah.
I
do have a question
fans now. Yeah, go on.
This is going to be a very interesting question. Now that you are outside of LinkedIn, and you've been on LinkedIn before, what if there are top 3 things that we should know that we do not know when it comes to closing sales? right?
Yes.
Right? Is there like any insider secrets that you know that a lot of people do not
Monetization.
know? Yeah. What would that be for you?
I love that you brought this up. And indeed, I do have a course that it's upcoming in July, which is teaching. It's called the LinkedIn Personal Brand Academy, turning connection into customers. So I will be teaching exactly that, how to monetize on LinkedIn. But what I can share now, it's actually the 3 steps that I shared with both of you before, which, you know, really leverage the content. Just look at me, right? When I'm still working for LinkedIn, guilty as charged, I'm not as active. I'm only posting maybe once a week. I have been really leveraging video because Nina mentioned it earlier. Video is huge, right? Like 2 or 3 years ago, you can easily get 10,000 views, even though with the silliest tip. Now you can't, right? Now it's other things that you can be able to capture that opportunity. But what I can say is content, really posting content consistently. You will see things coming back to you. Take time to build relationship. I mean, you might heard about it a lot, but think about it, right? I love to use that analogy a lot. Like when you're selling things, one of the easiest things to do is building the trust. You can't basically met someone. Let's say I met for the first time, and then I just like, hey, I'm like, can you marry me? It's just impossible, right? Or I come to Nina, can you be my girlfriend, right? It's just impossible. You need to build the trust.
As soon as you accept my request, can you be my girlfriend?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, obviously, there's also like LinkedIn a poor choice of usage of it, right? People confusing with Tinder, which is please don't do that. But anyway,
right. Well, we tell our people that this is not Tinder. Are you asking for marriage? And they'll be like, oh my God, I didn't know. Right? The amount of message that people do, they just don't realize it, you know, how formal it sounds, kind of thing. Right, Amin?
Yeah, exactly. We've been getting like some of our students have been complaining about some messages that they got from people. It's interesting that there are some people who actually really think that LinkedIn is Tinder. It's just amazing. It's shocking as well sometimes when I look at it.
Okay, so Salina, I have a question. All this thing, creating content, building relationship, it takes a lot of time. So if you, we completely lost her, so we gotta wait. Okay,
we gotta wait.
So I mean,
it's like we're gonna talk about.
Oh, there you go. She's back. Yes, we almost went for a commercial break. Right? Yeah, welcome back.
Commercial break, guys, but we're back.
Yes. Okay. So Salina, no, don't worry about it. So I have a question. You know, you gotta do your profile. You gotta create content. You gotta build relationship. You gotta, everything got point system, right? So how much time does one spend on LinkedIn? I still have to run a business. You know what I mean? So yeah, I'm sure you have people asking you that. So please enlighten us.
I love that question. Enlightening. Yeah, sounds good. And Pauline, love at first sight to you too. So I would say, I mean, imagine, right? A lot of like Instagram influencer is the same. They spend majority of the time on the platform doing live, doing IG Reels, right? Which is the popular thing, or IG Story. They're the same. And why not LinkedIn? My question is, why not LinkedIn spending a heavy amount of time when that's where all the business decisions are there, where you will save $10,000 running ads somewhere else like Facebook, where you can't target the people that you want, right? Like think a little bit. I mean, I'm not saying LinkedIn is for everyone, like truly is not. When you look at your business, if your target audience are majority of the time spending on LinkedIn, then I will ask, why are you elsewhere, right? You're spending it completely in the wrong place. So I would say that, but you can prioritize very easily. One of the things that I often talk with my clients is batch for brilliance. So what's batch? I'm pretty sure Nina and you can relate to that. Like as an entrepreneur, you don't have a lot of time, right? You need to have your block time to do things repetitively. And I create that very simple calendar guide for all my clients when it comes to their LinkedIn. So daily, how many times you can block to do something, weekly, how many times you should be spending, and then monthly, you go back and revisit your strategies, right? So these are some of the things that I do. And for content as well, you can do the same. Content, you can batch content. I love doing batching content. You can create content in a batch and thinking, okay, this month I'm going to post, let's say 10. This is what I can do. I can balance my time. Then you batch that 10 contents because you save a lot of time doing the same repetitive tasks.
Okay.
We actually have a question from the audience. Right?
Yes.
We're going to put it out.
Yeah. Which is a very good question. Yeah.
So the question is, I wanted to know if there is any constraint for eligibility to apply for monetization. Like, YouTube have constraint of 1K sub and 4K watch hour. I don't. Why don't you?
So first things first, does LinkedIn allow monetization of creators? And I guess the next question is, will they? Because I heard somewhere and I read somewhere that LinkedIn is looking into it for content
I would love
creators.
if that happened.
Yeah, just wondering.
Sorry, I mean, what are you saying? I missed that.
I mean, would love for it to happen.
I would love for monetization to happen on LinkedIn if that's possible. Based on content. Yeah. So if there's any plan, do you hear any rumors on that?
I mean, it's already happening. Advertising is one of the biggest monetization that a lot of companies have been using, right? Like they generate leads there. And I'm pretty sure, and Nina, you guys are familiar to LinkedIn events. It's also a way of monetizing it without, really going directly, having a Stripe URL, directly going to your bank account, not like that, but you can do things like events, but it's a pitch, right? You can do LinkedIn advertising in order to gen leads, right? And you can also ask people to subscribe to your newsletter and continually nurturing them. So I won't say LinkedIn have had that, but it's happening.
Okay. So Mira, I guess the answer is it doesn't have monetization sort of like content creators on YouTube or what YouTubers get. But what you can do is you can sell events and you have newsletters where you nurture your audience and then you sell them something. So it's kind of in a slightly different way round. But you are, there's a lot of people who are monetizing from LinkedIn, I have to say. Yeah.
Yep.
Me, including. Take this right here.
Well, there you go. Yeah.
Definitely. Based on LinkedIn, monetizing it from it. And all I can say is I have a wonderful experience.
That's great. And you wouldn't have known this if you didn't leave the company, right? I guess you wouldn't have experienced it firsthand.
I couldn't do that when I'm still with the company.
Right.
And now that funny enough, I'm so glad you asked. One of my business partner, Gary Wong, we used to work together at LinkedIn, and within the same team, he quit LinkedIn to join my company. So now we're doing this.
Okay.
Really, I would say I'm very proud of us because obviously it's a tough decision, but at the same time, I don't see any agency out there that know how to do LinkedIn advertising as well as LinkedIn for business well.
Yep. Yeah. I think definitely I'm going to be in touch with you about advertising because we've had people asking and they're not getting good results with advertising. Let's just put it that way. Kind of thing. I have another question. When it comes to content, is there such a thing as too much content? Like I see some people posting 10 a day, 1 a day. What's your take on this? From as a LinkedIn coach's point of view.
We are losing Salina again. Okay, she's there.
She's there. Just hang in there. Yeah. Okay. So content, do you post once a day or 10? Because I see some people posting 10.
Yeah, crazy people out there.
Yeah.
What do you think about that?
Yeah, so basically in Arrow, they don't encourage people to do that. I think 24/7 is a perfect timing, but you never know.
What hours?
24 hours. Yeah, so I think.
Okay, got it.
The maximum, it's 4 days per week. Again, back to the content point, right? LinkedIn really value members' quality of time a lot. So they don't want people to spam people with their message. So it only makes sense to post every day. Yeah.
Yep. Okay. Because we
Why?
found that,
So
you know.
I'm very curious to know this, because there are some LinkedIn gurus who's actually teaching their students to say that, hey, you know what, you need to actually post like 10 posts in a day, and because we worked with LinkedIn before, and we know that this is not something that you should do, because it kind of like you kind of like kill the post within that 24 hours period, right? So why do you think they're doing that? I'm just curious to know if there's a reason for this, or is it something that we don't know? Yeah.
I mean, I don't know those LinkedIn guru, but LinkedIn girl here can tell you that's not what LinkedIn favors. And back to my social selling index score point, right? We talk about engagement insight. If you keep posting it, LinkedIn is going to pick up and use all these engagement rate to go back to your scorecard. So what that means is it doesn't really favor you. So why doing that?
Okay.
Thank you for confirming that. Thank you so much for confirming that.
Yeah, thank you. Okay, another question. How come there are people ending up in LinkedIn jail, and is it the end of the world if you end up in LinkedIn jail? I mean, you probably have more specific questions.
No, I love these questions. And what I can say is stop looking at the shiny things and really focusing on the real work, because there's so many shiny tools out there that you can use to boost engagement easily. I'm not going to mention what type of tools, but those are basically go directly to LinkedIn jail, because that's have violating the LinkedIn user agreement. So when you start a LinkedIn account, everyone needs to agree to the LinkedIn community guidelines, and one of which is obviously not using other LinkedIn members' data in a malicious way, right? One of it, which is. So that would be my answer.
Okay, I mean, do you have anything else?
When someone else is saying it.
Yeah, I mean, to hear it from somebody who used to work in LinkedIn would be great, because there's a lot of people. Once you go to jail, are you like done for?
Depends. It really depends. You can appeal, like how you go to court when you do something wrong, and then you go to the lawyer, hopefully like LinkedIn lawyer or LinkedIn God, please give me back. But in some case, they just don't. I mean, I can't tell the things behind it, but what I can say is, but why not following the rules? Why do you want to go to jail, right? You can just follow exactly what the LinkedIn guidelines said. As simple as that.
But there are instances like somebody who opens like a lot of profiles and lots of tabs, but they're real. They're not robots. They're real human beings who happen to open up a lot of tabs like me. I haven't gone to jail, so not me. But they also get notified. So is there things that they can do humanly that might get them in trouble? Just wondering. Yeah.
Yeah. So LinkedIn don't really suggest to have two profile, because I mean you can have one profile of yourself and one profile of the company.
Oh no, what I mean is they have a lot of LinkedIn tabs open and they're looking at a lot of profiles. So they get notified that you're doing suspicious stuff. So what are things that humans can do that can get them in trouble and go to LinkedIn jail without realizing it? Yeah,
besides bots and all of this automation stuff.
Yeah, I'm so glad. You already mentioned that word, so that's like basically the biggest thing that LinkedIn don't like. The other thing I would say is like DM people or spamming people in a very short period of time. Like I know maybe a lot of people are sales here. That's why you're here today listening to me and this channel about how to monetize LinkedIn. But you can, even it out. Like that's like part of the things, right? When you're personalizing a message, you won't be able to send it, I don't know, like 10 seconds for hundreds of the same message, right? That's equals to spamming for LinkedIn. And that's equals to malicious behavior on LinkedIn. So, I mean, you sort of understand, right? It's something that you won't do. You won't spam someone like that.
Okay, cool. I mean, any other questions?
Yeah, we since we only have like 5 more minutes
Oh
left.
yeah. Okay.
We have
I
to
mean,
respect time as well.
Time flies
Yes.
so quickly.
I know, right? When you're talking about stuff. Okay, then if that's the case, let's talk about. Let's go into the rapid fire round where you just answer very quickly. What are your top three tips for people to get started if they want to monetize on LinkedIn? Top three tips.
Yeah, start content, making sure your profile is fully complete, have a social selling score with 75 if you can. And then the last but not least is start building relationship. Start conversation, bringing online relationship to offline conversation.
Okay, got it. For people who already have LinkedIn or already creating content, what are the top tips you have for them to go to the next level in terms of monetizing? You know, this is like the really separates you from the average Joes to the amazing, freaking awesome Joes.
Of course, joining my program, you will become an influencer.
I love that.
Because I will really guide you step by step on doing it in the right way. And I do have, I coach more than 100 clients to date that successfully be able to do that, turning their connection into customers without being, very spammy, being like way too salesy, making their customers feel very comfortable.
Okay, got it. Right. And if you had just one advice to give people out there, especially a business out there running, during these challenging times, what would it be?
Start building your strong personal brand. If it's not LinkedIn, elsewhere is totally fine, but that is one single thing that nobody can take away from you, not even COVID, if you have a strong personal brand.
Right. There you love it. Okay, one more question, because I'm going to ask you to be a digital prophet. Let's talk about the future. Where do you see opportunities for companies and individuals? What are the opportunities and how can we best prepare for it?
In general. Not
in general. Right. With how things are moving actually as well.
Yeah. I think be agile, be flexible. For instance, like I am so skeptical about working remotely for the longest time. And this week I just decided to do it. And it has been the most productive week ever. I changed my mind completely. And so be flexible, having an open mind. I think those are all the greatness is going to help you with your business, and keep building relationship. Someday you never know who you're ending up with. It could be with a company opportunity that they want to hire you or they want to work with you. You never know.
All right. Thank you. Thank you so much. And I mean, you've got that question from Purpal, right?
Yeah, just a quick question from the audience. Is there from Purpal, is there a limit to connection made per day for premium users? Just a quick one for this.
Is it different from an average user, non-premium user?
Yeah,
I mean, the number of connections.
I forgot per day, but 100 is per week.
100 per week. Okay, got it.
100, yeah.
For premium, yeah? Okay, cool. Thank you so much. We had so much fun with you. Thank you.
What's next for you?
Yes. And I think you want to share with the audience as well.
Yep. Yeah, absolutely. So, as I say, I'm super excited to relaunch this course that I'm doing, which is, LinkedIn Personal Brand Academy, turning your connection into customers. So I am opening for doors for enrollment finally in end of July. So I'm doing this free webinar, supporting many others in terms of some of the tips to monetize the LinkedIn better. That will be a perfect series for entrepreneurs, solopreneurs, and business coaches to join. If you're a side hustler looking into, really monetizing your business and want to test it out, LinkedIn is really a great place. I will be talking about that as well. And as I shared with Nina as well as I met earlier, I have a lot of freebies on LinkedIn, and I will include that later after, this live, but feel free to visit the inacademy.com. We have 10 rules to create engaging and viral content on LinkedIn. And I share all the secret tips over there. So hopefully that's helpful.
So if they wanted all these freebies, they can connect with you on LinkedIn, or they can also go to the In Academy website, right?
Yes. Exactly.
Okay, cool. Fantastic.
Exactly.
Thank you so much. Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank
you so much for hosting it and having me.
Yes, of course. 9 o'clock, right on the dot. Good job.
Great job.
Okay.
All right.
Well, thank you
so
so
with
much.
that, we're gonna move you to the back. So if you need to go, we completely understand. But if you can stay for a while, then we can connect with you again afterwards, or maybe later we can just connect via LinkedIn. Thank you so much, Salina.
Thank you so much. Good night.
Thank you, Ahmed. Thank you, Nina.
Yep.
Bye.
Bye.
All right, guys. I hope you had a great session there with Salina. What was your biggest learning? Let us know in the comment section. What was your biggest learning? I mean, it reaffirmed.
I finally understand SSI.
That's so funny.
I finally understand. They just wanted me to buy Navigator. That's why I never had the perfect score. So I'm not okay with this.
Yeah, but it's about relationship, right? So there's so many factors.
No, there's one aspect of it in which my score will never go up because I never upgrade to Navigator, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
I forgot to ask her about
one
Sales
time
Navigator.
It was high because remember we were at the recruiter license, and then that score never goes up again.
Okay, got it. That makes sense. Okay, guys, what was your biggest learning from tonight? Let us know. For me, it reaffirmed that bots are bad, why people go to jail. And I think for me, the biggest learning that I got was that the algorithm favors relationship and building relationship. So that was, I kind of knew it, but it just, for me today kind of thing. So now I know what works. Yeah, building relationships are important. Thank you, Mira. Glad you got value from it. Now, next week, what's happening next week? Yeah, any of the biggest learning, let us know in the comment section. Mira, you might want to join us next week.
It was a good session. Yeah, Mira should join us because I think this month is a LinkedIn month, isn't it? I noticed that most of the guests that we are bringing are all LinkedIn people.
So today, what we spoke about was we spoke about how to monetize on LinkedIn. Next week, and we have the poster. So next week we're going to be talking about how leaders can use LinkedIn from the #1 LinkedIn marketing guy kind of thing who's based in Singapore. It's not happening at 8 o'clock. It's actually happening at 4 o'clock. So you want to tune in at 4 o'clock for this. How to use LinkedIn for and as a leader. So for you guys out there who's kiasu, who wants to learn more and maximize it, this is for you, all right? So I guess that's all the time that we have for today. We hope you guys learned a lot of things. Yes, consistency is key. For me, no shortcuts, exactly, no shortcuts. It goes back to building relationship. And I think that's why you guys are so successful, because you build relationships, because we taught you good. That's all I can say, right? And if you know someone who can appreciate from today's show, again, tag them, get them to follow us, like us, and I guess give us some love and follow us on all our social media. So that's Popcorn Fest on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, Telegram. I think I want to start building our Telegram. 1% gives us, yes, you're right, Mira. 1% gives you a lot of opportunity. So we'll see you next week as well, yeah? So we'll be coming up with more videos and more speakers. Let us know who you want us to talk to. Let us know in the comment section. I'm Nina signing off, and this is this right?
Popcorn, signing off as well. We'll see you again next week.
All
Goodbye,
right,
guys.
good night.
Good night.
See ya. Pop, 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 pop,